welcome back to the Venom Workshop. So today I'm going to be installing this upgraded carb on this 125cc mini Jeep. It's the Mikuni upgrade that I'm going to be doing. It's a pretty basic, easy upgrade for this Jeep. So I'm just going to get right to it. You're not going to need many tools. Just a regular socket set, some 8mm wrench, and an 8mm socket set, things like that. So first thing you're going to do, take your seat off. It's very easy to take your seat off. Just hold here, slide forward, we'll pull it off, just like that. And then we're going to get started here. So I'm just gonna get my tools, get everything together, and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is just remove these two covers. It's very easy to remove. You just need a number 5 Allen key and a 10mm wrench like this. Now I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna take them all off. And you can get to them just reaching underneath the Jeep to get to the nut. Just like that. So I'm going to go around, I'm going to take all these off, and then I'll be right back. I'm not going to take off every bolt in the video, it's just not worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I'll get these two covers off, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I got my covers off. The only thing I did do was I unscrewed the screw and took off my choke cable. It just comes off right here. I'll show you how to put it back on. Or actually, you won't be able to put it back on because the new carb is not going to have the choke like this where you can hook up. It's not going to pull the same. I'll show you how to lift it after we get it in there. So first thing you want to do is take the top off your carb. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 8mm bolts off right here. Easy to do that with a socket. Okay, I'll get that black gasket after. Now you want to pull out that overflow tube right here, and you want to disconnect your gas. Turn off your gas first. It's under the right fender. You just have to reach underneath and turn it off. It's right on the bottom of the gas tank, so I'm going to turn the fuel off. And then we'll just put that up here for now. Set that on top of it so it doesn't drain gas down there. And then we can just get the old carb right out. There. So now we can get the new carb out of the box. Ziploc bag here. So I'll come around and I'll show you what the new carb looks like. This is the new carb here, and it's going to have these two lines coming off it. This is the overflow line on the bottom. This is a vacuum line right here, and then you're going to put your fuel line in right here. Now it's going to actually bolt right up to the original intake right here. So we're actually just going to get our black gasket. It fell on the floor a second ago and I'll grab it. But it's going to hook up right there, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that hooked up, and I'll be right back. Well, I'm gonna get the gasket, then I'll be right back. All right, so now we've got our gasket right here. So what you want to do is put this rubber ring on the intake itself right here. So it goes rubber ring to the intake, and then the flat side right here, flat side goes to the carburetor and seals it like that. And you have to use a longer bolt to get that to, I think, to go on. So we're gonna put that there. There's longer bolts that come with the new car. So you're just gonna wanna put it just like that. And it comes with a nut. Just like that. Of course, that's on this bolt. There we go. And this one's a little bit trickier. I find it's easier to get the nut on if you lift the choke. There we go. So now you're just going to get your 10 mil wrench, because those little nuts there, they're 10 mils, and get your ratchet. Flip your choke down so you can get your wrench in there. And you want that to be tight, but not too tight, where it's gonna break something. But you don't want any air getting through there either, so make sure they're nice and snug. There we go. Now, your throttle cable, which I dropped down there, is right here. That's the next thing we're gonna change. So you're gonna wanna get this spring and this needle valve off. So we pull back our spring, hold it in place like that, grab it like that. And we drop the top of the carb down here. We're gonna reach that, because this is the old carb, so we wanna take that top off. Get everything off to the side. Then we're gonna take the top off our new carb. Just like that. Now you remember, you gotta put this on first. Put that little inside the rubber, just like that. Get our spring. And we gotta go ahead and put this on, just like this. And that's it. So now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in. When you put this back in, you wanna make sure that this little slot right here lines up with your idle screw. And the line on the back, it faces the other way. So you wanna do that. And put our top back on. Spin my cable around. If you find that your cable's a little bit too long, what I do is I take a piece of rubber hose and I put it between here and here. Just like that. And I'll put it right in between here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll grab a piece of rubber hose and then I'll be right back. You'll see I took just a piece of this pink hose and I put it on top of that. It'll take all that slack out of the cable for me. So when I put my cap back on now, I want to seat that down in there tight. Just like that. And then I can go ahead and put my spring and everything back on. Oop, wrong spring. That, and now I'll get more of my throttle cable, so we'll go ahead and we'll put this back in. Okay, so now I've got that in there. It's all protected by the hose, and if I hit it, I got all the cable slack out, and it's working perfect. And what I like about this is it also pulls the cable down a bit, but it doesn't impede it anywhere where it can't run. So I like doing that. I find that works really good. If I have too much slack in the cable, rather than cutting the cable and trying to fix it and put pin ends on it. Just like that. So now we can put our gas line back on, and we can fire this up and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to turn my fuel back on. Let me find it. Right here. Alright, fuel's back on. And let some gas straight out of that hose so I know it's coming out in a good stream. I'll put it up here. Put it on my carb and let my carb fill up. And after the carb's filled, before I put the air filter on or finish anything up, I'm going to go ahead and start it to make sure it starts, everything works. So I just want to make sure the carb's nice and full first. And your drain line, if you're going to be starting it, make sure your overflow line there and your other line is up and out of the way so it doesn't heat and melt off on you. So again, just going to let that fill up with a little bit of gas. Now I'm going to come around and let's try to start it. Now when you try to start it, now you're going to have to remember, you're going to have to reach underneath and flip this choke up the first time. When it's cold, you're gonna want to flip that up. So let's try to start it, see what it does. Oh, well that's not gonna work. Yeah, make sure that you pop that cap off, because then it won't get any air. And you notice, as soon as I lifted the choke again, it died. It's just, it's so warm, it's where it's supposed to be. Ain't a little bit of smoke, you see, that's just the gas. That's just the gas that I had, I spilled a little bit of water, so just steam it up. That's it, now, all I have to do Now all I have to do is put the air filter on, and that's pretty well it. That'll be the end of the install, and I can go ahead and I can put everything back together. So all you have to do is take the filter, and the filter is very malleable, so you can put it in from down here. And if you don't like this style of filter, the great thing about this carb is there's different filters you can buy. So I'll check the measurement on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 30 millimeter across, but you can check it. And if you wanted, you could put an elbow on this, you could put a snorkel on this. Just like I said, a trip to the Home Depot and you could snorkel this this air filter, so that if you drove in through some water and stuff, that you're not going to, if you drove through some water, you're not going to bog it out. So yeah, you could always, like I said, go ahead and just change that any way you want, but that's how you put the air filter on. And you obviously screw that clamp closed. This one's pretty tight, or I can turn it so I can get my screwdriver to it. There we go. There we are. And I can tighten that up now. And that's it. So then I don't have a flat screwdriver. I'll grab one and I'll tighten that up. And then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna take our panel, we're gonna put it back on, and then we're gonna put the front piece back on. Now this Jeep isn't getting actually the upgrade, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this carb back off, and I'm gonna put the stock carb back on, and then we're gonna go ahead and we'll replace everything that needs to be put back on and get this ready to go. Okay, so what we're gonna wanna do is, you'll notice on the other side I've already done it. Take your bolt, put your rubber on the other side of it, and there should be 6 of these. And then you just have to line up the holes with the bolts, just like that. The top one might give you a little headache, but it can be worked in. There we go. Now I'm just gonna go to the other side, do the same. And then once you're done, just go ahead and put your nuts on it, tighten that one up, and then we'll move to the black one that goes on after. All right, so now what's left is this black cover. And we'll just put our 4 bolts in that, and that's it. And then that's it, guys. That is how you upgrade your 125 Mini Jeep to the VM22 Carb. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always call in and we'll help you out over the phone. But that's it. It's a very simple, easy job. Literally takes about 20-25 minutes. And that's it, guys. So like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next video.